Welcome back to InformOverload, folks. Today we are talking all about the celebs who have been caught in 4K. You guys know you gotta smash that like button. Let's try to hit at least 500 likes for a part 2 of this series, and let us know who we should have included in the comments down below. But we got a lot to cover, so for now, let's get right into this one. It's a spicy list. I'm wearing my red shirt. Peppers, Reddit, baby. Starting us off at number 10, we got Robin Thicke. Hey, hey, hey. You guys remember when that song Blurred Lines is all you would ever hear every day, regardless of where you went? I do, unfortunately. And around that time, Robin Thicke was on every talk show, every major concert, all over the place performing that song. It seems he took a lot more credit than he should have, because Marvin Gaye's family sued him for stealing Marvin Gaye's song, Got to Give It Up. It's a classic, give it a listen. Well, in court, Thicke was questioned if he had created the track. Thicke explained, I quote, "To be honest, that's the only part where I was high on Vicodin and alcohol when I showed up at the studio. So my recollection is when we made the song, I thought I wanted to be more involved than I actually was by the time. 9 months later, it became a huge hit and I wanted credit. So I started kind of convincing myself that I was a little more part of it than I was, and because I didn't want him, I guess referring to Pharrell, I wanted some credit for this big hit. But the reality is that Pharrell had the beat and he wrote almost every single part of the song. So he blamed Pharrell. Nice. The whole thing was weird though, as Pharrell was asked if Marvin Gaye had influenced his music while being questioned in court, to which the producer's response was, I quote, "He's an Aries, I respect him." I'm an Aries. Nice. At number 9, Tristan Thompson. I mean, he's been caught multiple times cheating on Khloe Kardashian over the years they've been together. It was reported that while Khloe was 3 months pregnant in 2017, Thompson was cheating on her, and this was confirmed when TMZ posted video footage of him with 2 women. They just so happened to post it 2 weeks prior to the birth of the couple's first child, but then just days before Khloe's due date, Thompson was seen again with 28-year-old model Lanny Blair in New York, while his team at the time was playing the Knicks. It seems the couple was gonna work things out, then reports came up that Thompson was cheating again, this time with Khloe's sister's best friend. Confusing, I know, but it was just Kylie's friend that Tristan was apparently hooking up with. Not like, oh, it was just not a big deal, I'm saying to clarify. And then the friend, Jordan Woods, did admit that Thompson kissed her one night and she stayed quiet about it, but it was not her fault whatsoever. Khloe addressed it on their awful show and it was good for the ratings. And this doesn't even include any of the more recent drama, which I don't have time for. Moving on to number 8, Winona Ryder. If you're a Stranger Things fan, then you know Ryder as Will's mother. Others may know her from the numerous films and TV shows she's been in, or her previous relationship with Johnny Depp years ago. Either way, back in 2001, she was arrested for stealing over $5,000 worth of clothes and accessories at Saks Fifth Avenue in Beverly Hills. She didn't land any work in Hollywood until 2006, almost like she was blacklisted, but it seems for her this was a blessing in disguise. Speaking with Interview in 2013, she said, I quote, "That thing that happened, I was starting to have some trouble before that. I think a lot of people think that that is what sort of sent me off in another direction, but I was actually starting to have some trouble a few years before. In a weird way, it was almost like the best thing that could have happened, because I'd never asked myself the question before of, is it okay if I'm not going to act? Is there anything else?" Because that was all that I really knew. At number 7, Conor McGregor. One of the biggest names in sports, the highest paid athlete of 2021, and the face of the UFC, has found himself in legal troubles more than once. Of course, he was caught on film throwing the metal dolly at a bus containing a handful of UFC fighters, injuring some, as well as the time he hit a man at a bar. Video showed McGregor pouring everyone shots of his proper 12 whiskey, and one older man moving the shot away. McGregor appeared to insist he try one, which the man denied. At this point, everyone raised a shot or a glass, except the man who was staring at McGregor the whole time. It seems after they all took the shot, McGregor just hit the man with a left punch before getting pushed out by his entourage or friends. The man didn't seem all that fazed by the punch, which is truly incredible. Speaking on the situation, McGregor said, I quote, "I was in the wrong. That man deserved to enjoy his time in the pub without having it end the way it did. I tried to make amends and I made amends back then, but it doesn't matter. I was in the wrong. I must come here before you and take accountability and take responsibility. I owe it to my mother, my father, my family. I owe it to the people who trained me in martial arts. That's not who I am. That's not the reason why I got into martial arts or studying combat sports. The reason I got into it was to defend against that type of scenario." At number 6, Brian Williams. Now you guys may not know this story or who Williams is, and I debated including him for a bigger celebrity, but when you hear his story, you'll see why I included him. A journalist for NBC who was covering the war in Iraq back in 2003 on location had made claims the helicopter he was flying in was hit by an RPG and had to make an emergency landing. Turns out that wasn't the case, and instead the helicopters way ahead of him were attacked and had to make an emergency landing. Williams' helicopter did make an emergency landing due to precautionary reasons and a sandstorm, and after being exposed by the soldiers and pilots that were on the helicopter that was under fire, Williams would be suspended from NBC. This was in 2015, 12 years later after the fact, when Williams would admit to lying. While on NBC Nightly News, he apologized, saying, I quote, "I said I was traveling in an aircraft that was hit by RPG fire. I was instead in a following aircraft. We all landed after the ground fire incident and spent 2 harrowing nights in a sandstorm in the the Iraqi desert. This was a bungled attempt by me to thank one special veteran, and by extension our brave military men and women, veterans everywhere, those who have served while I did not. I hope they know they have my greatest respect and also now my apology. Halfway at 5, Rick Ross. If you're a hip hop or rap fan, you know all about Rick Ross, the boss. But you may not know that he was a correctional officer for 18 months prior to his fame and fortune as a rapper. This made people question if he truly knows anything about the life he claims to live through his raps. At first, Ross denied the claims when images and paperwork showed that he did work as a guard for a year and a half. Finally, he came clean in 2008 speaking with Hip Hop DX, but explained he doesn't lie about what he does in his rapping either. I quote him saying, "Yes, it's me. I never tried to hide my past. I put my name inside my CDs. My company has my social security number. I could have put a company name. I done been up, I done been down, and that's what makes me what I am. I never ratted on a person, I never prosecuted a person, I never locked up a person. That's first and foremost. I always felt that me being the person that I am, I never owed anyone an explanation. When I'm making my music and I'm talking about blow, it's because I did it. When I say that I'm rich off coke, it's because I did it. Those are the street principles that apply." On to number 4, Ashlee Simpson. The younger sister of Jessica was a huge star in the mid-2000s with hit after hit. But when she appeared on Saturday Night Live and the DJ or sound engineer or whoever was responsible for making Ashlee look good messed up, well, the cat was out of the bag. Turns out Simpson was lip singing, and this was confirmed when she performed one of her songs, Pieces of Me. Following a commercial break when she was introduced yet again, she was getting ready to sing her next song, Autobiography, but the vocals for Piece of Me very loudly started playing before being brought down, clearly with someone realizing they screwed up. Simpson stood there laughing, unsure of what to do, very awkwardly before walking off of stage, all while her band committed to the act and kept jamming. So good for them. Simpson would say she was told not to sing that night due to her acid reflux. At number 3, Shad Moss. Back in 2017, Moss, who at the time I believe was still Bow Wow, took to his Instagram flexing his private jet. I mean, he must have done well after Like Mike. That movie was incredible. However, it seems a fan of Moss spotted him on his flight sitting in coach just a few rows up. Taken to Twitter, the fan shared the photo captioned, "So this guy Lil Bow Wow is on my flight to New York." But on Instagram, he posted a picture of a private jet. It was also later discovered the photo of the jet Moss shared on his Instagram was from a luxury rental website and cropped to look like it was a photo that he took. This also spawned the Bow Wow challenge, which was a whole other thing in itself. Really wild times. At number 2, Bill Gates. After it was revealed that Bill and Melinda Gates would be getting a divorce after 27 years together, more news would break that Bill was having an affair with an employee. As per the Wall Street Journal in 2019, a female employee at Microsoft told the company that back in 2000, she and Bill had a sexual relationship initiated by him that lasted for years. While Microsoft's board investigated the claims, they wanted Bill to step down, which he did in March of 2020 prior to them completing the investigation. A spokesperson for Gates said the decision, I quote, "was in no way related to this matter. In fact, he had expressed interest in spending more time in his philanthropy starting several years earlier." However, Gates did admit to having the affair, with the spokesperson explaining there was an affair almost 20 years ago which ended amicably. At number 1, Amber Heard. She pooped on Johnny Depp's bed. She lied about a lot of things. I mean, I can't go through it all. You guys know if you've been watching the channel for a while that we've covered it over the years. This is being went through the courts for some time now, and we've got dozens of videos and marathons covering all of it. I'm just referring to the poop situation, which even though a judge declared it wasn't her or decided it wasn't her, there was a maid who was there that testified that it was not dog poo, human poo. I mean, I don't think Amber will ever admit it was her, but I can't say for certain it was her. I don't know. I just feel like that's something she would do. Like, I don't know. That's all for this one, guys. Let us know your thoughts on this one down below. For now, let's do some comment replies from the video. Bill Gates caught cheating, H3H3 sued for 50 million, and Boogie2988 gets arrested. Just some guy without a mustache said all of these news are juicy AF. Yeah, Johnny's are usually juicy. Mine are spicy, because I'm peppery. You guys get it? I'm not giving up on this. I'm just gonna commit to it. So you gotta deal with it. Life on Wheels Whitney P said, I feel like the Boogie2988 story was self-defense. That man was stalking him. If it was a woman, then they probably wouldn't have arrested her. It's sad. 100% I agree. Boogie, I back him. I know people aren't fans of like guns, and they might have been upset that he shot a gun in a neighborhood, which I understand. He shot it up in the air. Fair. Like a little reckless maybe, but it was a warning shot. Better than shooting the guy dead. And yeah, the guy showed up at his house. I fully think, you know, Boogie is fully, like I fully back what Boogie did. I am Mackenzie said, Bill sending that girl an email as a, just so you know, made me giggle uncontrollably because like, what was the thought process there? Yeah, I don't know. He was just like, by the way, if you don't want to go out with me, like we could pretend this never happened. It's just very weird. Like, I don't know. Uncomfortable to think about. Anyways, guys, that's all for this one. I've been your host, Pepper. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.